What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Let's Watch NFL Week 6 Thursday night football game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Buccaneers on the road tonight. Let me just double check and see. I'm sure we have lots of bets placed on the Buccaneers, as is usual. They are usually one of the more heavily bet teams, thanks to Tom Brady, which I don't think surprises anybody. Let's take a look at the betting market. What's going on, Tony? How you doing? As I talked about in the membership video for the NFL betting market, I was predicting about 80,000 bets. Right now we're at 81,432. So this is going to possibly even approach 90,000 by the time kickoff happens. Still bets to come in on this game. But I'm going to put this in and see what things are telling us as far as the market goes. 81,432 bets placed so far. Pull up Pinnacle as well so we can see what the current lines are, see if there's any opportunity with these lines. All right. So we do have this line has pushed up. It opened at 6.5. It's been pushed up to 7, but there is heavy juice on the Eagles +7 right now at -114. Money line unchanged since last time I took a look, and over/under is currently sitting at 53. Let's take a look and see if there is any opportunity. Spread percentage of bets says there's market opportunity on Tampa. The spread percentage of money, at least on closing line, says there's opportunity on Philly, only receiving 39% of the money. But conflicting markets against the spread, so not something I'm going to be making a play on. We have 3 of the 4 telling us to take the over. 63% of bets on the over. 67% of money is on the under right now at 53. And then as far as money line goes, it's a very, very small favorable play for Tampa, at least according to the money percentage. But overall, just not a lot of opportunity here. Maybe on the over, but I'm probably just going to stay away. I'm going to share this screenshot of this orc in the Discord so members can take a look and see. Bloodbath, what's going on? Jackson, how are you doing? What's going on, Mickey? Wolfie said, let's go Bucks. Zap says, no action for me on this game. Good luck, though, fellas. I'm with you, Zaps. There's nothing for me today. Wolfie said, it's a milestone game for Brady. First touchdown was on October 14th, 20 years ago. So the moons can align tonight. And hopefully it doesn't lead to Brady getting his last touchdown. But 20 years, man, what a run for Tom Brady. It's quite impressive. So what's going on tonight, people? You guys liking the NHL market stuff? I've been working on the NBA. Let's see where I'm at, actually. So I've got 829 games so far with the NBA, and we can get up to 11,071. So there's still 300 or so games for me to enter in. I made the NHL market video today. I didn't check to see if it did any good. Usually those market videos get not a lot of views. But I got to figure out a way to get more people signed up for the membership so I can continue to do this, because it's a big time, like it's a lot of time put into it, but I think it's super valuable, so I'm hoping other people feel the same. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, like I put the video out today. It only got 15 views, so not a lot of people are seeing it. It's not like the picks videos. The picks videos everyone sees. Fat guy is in the building. Fly, Eagles, fly. What's up, fellas? It's been a while. I'm glad that you're back, Untouchable. What's going on, fat guy? Yeah, Mickey, you liked it. What if Brady's career ends tonight? That wouldn't be fun. I'm hoping that's not true. But 20 years is 20 years. I can see fat guy. I can't hear him though, but it might be something on my end. Wireless headset.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
I restarted my computer. Had something to do with that, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mickey and Untouchable are loving the hockey marketplace. I put out a NHL betting market video today to encourage people to sign up for the membership. But I know the members, or at least in Discord, you guys have been clamoring for it, which is good to see. And then we're about 300 games away, fat guy, from the NBA as well, having all the data, which is super nice.
Yeah, things are percolating, that's for sure.
Ryan Williams said, I hope Fat Guy's Crack makes another special guest appearance this week. That would be fun.
Well, I'm not wearing a belt, so let's say if we're asking the 8-ball, outlook is good.
So what's going on, Fat Guy? How's your day been? You excited for this game? Tampa Bay at Philly. Any plays? I'm sure everyone's trying to make plays with you for this game.
Yeah, everyone's been on Tampa Bay. Not huge money, but yeah. So I'm on the Eagles +7.
Nice. Yeah, good juice. I see. Or the juice is in favor of Philly as far as the books are concerned, with +7 -114, I believe, is what I just saw last.
I have +7 +110 for the most part, so
that's pretty damn good.
I'm satisfied.
+7 right now, -117. So that's quite the huge gap in juice.
Yes.
Let's put that in perspective here. So 117 divided by 217 is 53.9. So that's 3.9%. And then you got it at 110.
Correct.
So 2.38 plus 3.91. Fat Guy has a 6.29% edge in this game with the juice. So it's that's tough to make up. That's tough to make up.
I do have 1 plus 105, but I mean,
Well, that's still way better than the -117 you can get.
Oh, it is.
At probably at the pinnacle of sports booking, which is Pinnacle Sports Book. I guess they just go by Pinnacle now, so I don't know.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah, that's what they're going by. They used to be called something else. It used to be called Pinnacle Sports or something like that. They eventually got pinnacle.com, and as they say, the rest is history.
Financial markets have been interesting the last little bit.
Yeah, it's been fun to follow along and see what's going on.
How have the blue chips been doing?
Good. It's been up and down, but it's been good the last few days. But it definitely it's been down. It's not at its peak, let's say.
Yeah.
I see even Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum had an excellent day.
Yes.
According to this, it's up 7%. But let's see what it says on here. Yeah, 4% in the last 24 hours.
My uranium company went up like bonkers numbers.
That's awesome. That's really great.
Yes.
Fat guy's big into uranium.
I actually am.
Huge uranium fan.
I
That's what
am.
we
I
should
am
have
a
got.
uranium fan.
That's what we should have called the Seattle team. Seattle Uranium.
No, Saskatchewan should, because the biggest company in the world for uranium is Cameco, and that's a Saskatchewan company. So egg on your face.
Yeah, well, Saskatchewan Uranium just sounds terrible, but Seattle Uranium, now that rolls off the tongue.
I think they should rename the Rough Riders.
Which one?
Yeah. Yeah. You're actually right.
Did you say Uranus? All right, so I don't see a lot changing. This line looks like it's going to be staying at 7. There's, I guess, a slight chance that it could go down to 6.5. But even then, like, I don't know. This seems about equilibrium. Don't you agree, fat guy?
I think so. I think there's you could make an argument for 7.5, perhaps. Like, I don't think that's right, but you could make an argument for it.
Yeah, for Philly, I guess that would be best case scenario for us contrarian
Yeah,
style bettors.
maybe that's, I'm just like projecting optimism, because yeah, 7's right. Actually, you know what? I think 6.5 is right, because I'm trying to go on like what I would bet. I would bet Philly 7.5 all day.
Yeah,
And then 7 good juice. I'm happy to take it. 6.5, I'd bet Philly. Or sorry, bet Tampa. Or indifferent, rather indifferent. 6, I might bet Tampa, because I get the push on 6. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually taking a look, and it's very interesting to note here that as far as score distributions go in the NFL, for the road team, they've actually won by 17 times in the last 349 games versus only 10 times at 7. So 6, like, I don't know if that's just because of the sample and it's not big enough, but it's interesting to note that 6 has been more of a key number for, I guess, home underdogs than 7 has.
Well, I think you could chalk some of that up, at least just from an inference, to missed Pats. Like, missed Pats were a big deal this weekend, but I think in general there's got to be some sort of statistical relevance to them. Let's call it, right? I mean, it's just it happens a lot. It happens a reasonable amount of time, right? Totally weakens that number.
And 6.5 was the contest number. So anybody who's on Tampa at 6.5, just like Mickey said, is got a slight advantage here. I could see that the if I wanted to tease it down to 6.5 in the at Pinnacle, you'd be paying minus 111. So, you know, at 6.5, you got a slight more edge as far as the contest goes.
Then 7 at even.
7 Tampa Bay minus 7 right now is plus 106.
Okay, yeah. But I meant Philly plus 7 is minus 117.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just taking a look at if we tease it down to 6.5, what's the number on Tampa Bay, like the juice? So yeah. Tampa Bay minus 6.5 is minus 111 compared to Philly plus 6.5 is even. That's also why, as part of the membership on the betting market sheet, that we track all of the data, what's happened in these markets for the last season or so. We've added the units as well, so you can see that, you know, some of these plays might have more cases where it's like a minus 110 that wins, and eventually you're gonna, you know, get your units cut down over time, having to take a higher juice. Which player are they highlighting here? It's not
Devin
anyone
White,
that I
believe.
recognize. Ah, okay.
He's
Excellent
and his
player.
love for the equine.
Good for him. Who was the player on the Chiefs that was scared of horses?
Eric Berry.
Ah, yes, one of my favorites, Eric Berry. Jackson's got Philly in the contest. That's probably going to be a contrarian play in the contest.
Yeah.
Let me take a look and see. Yeah. 66% of people are on Tampa, 33% on the Eagles tonight. Let's see. We still have 8 minutes to kickoff. I feel like kickoff should be happening very, very soon, but still have 8 minutes till kickoff.
I've noticed that 75% of the men in the Fox, I don't know what that is, are bald. That's a high percentage, 3 out of 4.
Yeah. Terry Bradshaw really showing off.
Yeah, I know. Mark Sanchez is actually the one showing off.
Ah, yeah. Good looking man, Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Jackson said, could go either way. I'm just happy that the closing line isn't drastically different from the contest. Yeah, that's a good point. It really hasn't moved that much. Like the 6.5 to 7 is, one of the more significant moves. But as far as the juice goes, it's pretty much.
We took Tampa in the contest, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Just because we thought this was going to happen.
Closing line value, yeah.
We get it at 6.5. So we skipped the push of 7 and get that number. It looks like I don't know if it's just like a visual thing, but oh no, let's back up. They briefly took the line down at Pinnacle, which is interesting. You figure with still 6 or 7 minutes left till kickoff, they'd be doing everything they could. Linebacker, such a, like, at least in my head, it's such a position that I devalue, but having really, really strong linebackers.
Well, it depends what type of linebacker. If you're playing 4-3, like the linebackers behind are, I mean,
yeah. I'm talking about like the guys, not outside linebackers that are rushing the passer.
Yes,
I'm talking
yes.
about prototypical like inside linebacker type guys.
The Joe Schoberts and the Blake Martinez's of the world.
Because it's just been, I feel like, we've played Madden before, and I know one of your specialties is getting that matchup between a tight end and a linebacker, or a running back and a linebacker. And it feels like
the only way
NFL,
I can move the ball in that stupid game. Get 100 yards receiving for tight ends and running backs.
But it's true though, right? Like, how are you supposed to find an athlete that's can cover Gronkowski and at the same time cover like a Darren Sproles type player? Like it becomes
really a guy.
Yeah, it becomes very, very difficult. But then you find guys like Devin White that can kind of do it, right? It's become much more of like a speed heavy position.
Yeah, but let's evaluate that though. There really isn't even a cornerback that can guard a top 5 receiver. Like in reality, the rules aren't built to help that cornerback. So how do you combat that gap in rules? It's just have a better pass rush. That's why they're worth so much money, and that's why they're worth so much win probability added. There's it's almost like you're better off just going really basic from the beyond the D line and just investing every dollar in the D line. If you have a good D line, you're probably going to win. Like it's the only position Nick Saban actually goes out and recruits.
Yeah, I like, and for me, it's all about depth at D line. Like I think it's really, really tough. Are we gonna get the? Sanchez only says Tampa's gonna win by 7. Last look on the market. I'll take a look and see. I don't think too much is gonna change. Like I don't.
Jay Glazer said he wouldn't make a pick. I like that. Now Jackson's got a good counter to this too. That receivers are absolutely, and like receivers can be taken out of the games with scheme, right? Like I don't know. And that's the other thing too. If you have a good offensive line, there's nothing the other team can do. There's like nothing they can do. And going back to what Big Rye said, we only saw that ever with New England one year. Rotating offensive linemen, that's a concept that I think is going to come into play here at some juncture. And it should.
Yeah, the only thing it says now as far as the market goes is maybe there's some slight value on Tampa Bay money line, but I'm not going to bet anything over minus 200. That's just one of my rules for myself. I'll post it in there for you, Jay.
I'm getting a little bit more malleable on that idea. Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like, considering the types of bets I've received, I've seen a lot of like tennis bets where there was really good value at those high price points, and I'm a little bit more open to them than I ever thought I would be. Let's put it that way.
Taking like bigger favorites.
Yeah. Like I saw a couple like, and I'm just a layman at tennis, but like the pricing seemed weird. I was like, oh man, minus 290. That seems so easy, you know. And then of course I'm getting confirmed by by the results, right? Which is never really a good thing.
You know what team is actually kind of doing that is Jackson brings up is Detroit. Like they don't have like 6 or 7 really good offensive linemen, but they've definitely put more into that offensive line, I think, than they did their skill positions.
Well, to be honest, that team is terrible. I hate to use the word the team sucks. They suck. They're bad. They're a bad team. They're a bad roster. But like you kind of see that they're a high effort team and they've competed. They like literally Baltimore beat them by a miracle. Minnesota barely got over them. Like they've competed.
I saw there was a guy on Reddit that did some sort of study and pretty much said that Detroit has been the unluckiest team in history. Like with how they've
history.
Like I thought it was a lot too, but it just highlights that, you know, even if that's hyperbole, like they've had some very, very tough results at
oh,
the
absolutely.
End of games.
That goes without question. The like it's just hard to say like they're like they're, you know what I mean, they've put the bulk of the roster into into the offensive line. Well, they, you know what I mean, they're just bad everywhere, right? Like it's not like they have like the best line in the league or anywhere near.
Well, let's see. They have for cap hit, they have Flowers, who's the highest paid player at 19 million. Goff, the second highest at 10 million. And then Vaitai is the third highest player, 10 million. Then we have like TJ Hawkinson is the highest paid skill position player at 5.5. Everyone else is 4.3 or below. Like Swift only makes 1.9. I'm pretty sure he's on a rookie deal.
He's on a rookie deal. It's his second year.
So cap hit wise, like very, very low. Their IR cap, they have Jeff Okuda, who I believe is a high
He's a third overall
Yeah.
cornerback who's not really even played.
So he's getting paid $7 million. Taylor Decker, 4. Romeo Okwara. Like salary cap wise, they're doing things really well. It's just like they need to go through the draft and just get better players at this point, like, and rebuild.
Well, who do they have at receiver that they're paying any? Amon Ra, St. Brown. That guy's not getting paid anything. Quinton Cephas.
Well, let's
you're less than $1 million for those guys, I would imagine.
Let's take a look, because Tyrell Williams is the highest paid and he's $3 million. And then Kaderil Hodge is $1 million. Khalif Raymond, 987,000. Amon Ross St. Brown is 856,000. Trinity Benson, 660,000. Tom Kennedy, 660,000. And Quintez Cephas, 610,000. So really not much there at all. They also have Geronimo Allison on the practice squad. dead cap like Stafford, Collins, Justin Coleman, Desmond Trufant. They've got a lot of dead cap, but I'm sure that I
That's
don't
by
know.
design. That one we can't hate on him for.
Yeah, they're doing things like they haven't gone out and signed Odell Beckham Jr. or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they have Anal Zone. Well, even though we have Tampa in the contest, I am hoping for an Eagles upset. I would like to see
Yeah, same here.
the Eagles win this game. That, like, honestly, when I look at the cap situation for the Lions, I actually really like it. Like, I don't know enough to know about it moving forward, like how much of that dead cap falls off and how that exactly
Well, they're
works.
gonna have to get rid of Trey Flowers, right? So they're probably gonna have to pick their spot with that. But he's in that weird zone where, like, okay, we're just overpay for this guy until we can get rid of him. It's a bit like when Reggie McKenzie took over the Raiders. It feels like maybe not quite as bad. I like what Jackson said, though. I like to see a team just disregard skill players and have a 6 or 7 O-line rotation. Yeah, I would like that too, big time. So I think that's the way to go too. Like, and so many of these skill position guys, like you just said, their best player is DeAndre Swift. It's 1.8 million. Who cares? It's
And
nothing.
I'm pretty sure he was a draft pick. So
Yeah, he was a draft pick, exactly, right? And that's why you can get, if you get guys 3rd round and below, you're paying less than $1 million, man. I don't mind signing like a couple depth running backs for like $1 million a man, but I could, as a GM, I don't think it's unreasonable that 5 or 6 million a year you couldn't rebuild and have a really good room. And also too, not only that is think about like so say you could equal production with 6 guys, or maybe you get 20% less than the best running back in the league. We'll call him Christian McCaffrey or Dalvin Cook, just for versatility purposes. You're less susceptible to injury too. Like, if one of those guys gets hurt, who cares? And Jackson just said it's the healthiest they'll ever be. He's right too. This I don't know. I think this strategy just needs more adoption. And when we talk about more adoption, New England's pretty much done this for 10 years. And we don't need to go over New England's results. That's a nice pass. I want to see this run again. Oh, that's so easy. That's so easy, isn't it? Like, you just see that.
I wasn't focusing enough on the defense, but it was an easy completion for Brady and Evans. Get another Fournette run. Does well on this one. He's going to pick up 6 or so. So DeAndre Swift was the 3rd pick of the 2nd round. So it just shows you how much the fall off is. Like, even you can draft a running back pretty high. I consider the top of the 2nd round pretty high for a running back. You still only have to pay him 1.9 million or so. Let's say 2 million, and for a few, 4 years they get?
Yeah, 4. The only difference is, like, you might be better off with end of the 1st round, like 32nd, because you have the option on the 5th. But
I think there's way more positions that you'd rather get a guy like that than
you're
a running
100%
back,
right.
because
and then you also have the optional 5th round on that guy as well, right?
yeah. The other thing too that the Pats do is they'll bring in running backs that have finished that rookie contract, and they might pay them $2 or $3 million, like a guy like Rex Burkhead, who everyone else is like, I don't want Rex Burkhead, and then they get a guy that can come in and play and do everything, pass block, run block, carry between the tackles, get out and run routes. Like, There's something to be said about a guy that's had like
Special
4 years
teams,
of training.
Brandon Bolden,
Yeah, special teams as well.
sure-handed. And there's another argument too.
Really nice job by Nelson.
Did he get in? Great play.
He forced him out, it looked like. I want to see the replay on this.
But say you get 6 guys that are okay in the running back room, some are on the, not all are in the active roster, so we'll just say 5. If you keep all of their stats low and do it by committee, when they go to re-sign, they don't have any leverage either. So it's not like the nicest business thing, but you could. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you have a star running back and he's putting up star numbers, you have to pay him star contract numbers. It doesn't work.
It's like interesting to see what Indy did, right? Because they paid Nyheim Hines for more like the utility of what he can do rather than the actual production that's been there. Because I think they realized, like, if he played every down, like, you and I aren't huge Nyheim Hines fans, but he could get it done production-wise if
yeah, he's a tier 3 guy, tier 2 guy, but, like, his versatility is pretty rare. Like, he's had some nice in-between the tackles running, like, that's improved as of late. Also, too, look at Baltimore. They lost 3 running backs. They signed a bunch, and now teams want to trade with them. That's another interesting tidbit. Oh, man.
Really nice play call from Tampa Bay here.
That looked like early chop blocks up there, though, didn't it? Just seemed like everyone was on the deck.
I'd have to see it again. But this is like, if you make it this easy for Brady to see what you're in, like, I don't know if that was a Brady thing or an offensive coordinator thing, but they've made that look very easy for a 3rd and 8.
They made this drive look very easy.
Mickey highlighted that the Eagles are 3rd in net yards per play, which is like, that'd be a fun one to do at the bar. Like, no one's going to guess the Eagles are in the top 3 when it comes to offense.
Yeah, well, but don't forget, though, this is always a yin-yang problem. Kansas City never punted against them. Their defense hasn't exactly held up their end of the bargain, other than I guess Atlanta, they played really well. What's that mean? San Francisco, they did well, and
they were okay against Carolina last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually forced. Oh man, if Kerrigan takes a different angle there, that could have been he could have made a play. We have an OJ Howard touchdown. Yeah, just a different angle from Kerrigan. He might have been able to make that play. But he recognized that, and he almost got there. Just a weird angle for him to make that play with Howard coming across the formation like that. Because he's just following his eyes at that point. Extra point is good, so Tampa's up 7 in the first 6 minutes of this game. And we're going to get to see, most likely going to get to see Hurst after this kickoff. Live line's up to 8.5, so despite an early touchdown, the line only moves a couple points.
What's the total? It must be really high.
56. So it was
Total's
at 53.
really high.
It's gone up 3 points with that start. Yeah. Well, OJ Howard was just such a such a tremendous prospect coming into the NFL. And it was always like when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And just injuries have derailed that, but like if OJ Howard's healthy, like he could be scary good.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet you there's some sort of scheme adoption issues there, because I don't think he's exactly been a coach's favorite. Let's put it that way.
He's been hurt though. Like he really hasn't had the chance to play at 100% over the last few years. But it's he definitely didn't pick up as fast as they wanted him to. Because I think his physical tools were like, at least when he came into the NFL, were, of the best at tight end at that time, and it just hasn't translated to. But they have, between him, Braid, and Gronkowski, that's pretty deep at tight end. The new Juice. Yeah, I think he's got a long way to go. It would be funny though if OJ Howard had a white Bronco. Hurts is like I know this is going to sound like really high praise, but like he's almost like a young Russell Wilson. Like he just makes plays. And even Fat Guy talked about he pretty much beat out Wentz.
He did beat him out. He was better. At least from my understanding. I like that, and that was a big thing why I was lobbying for him, internally, was why would I want a guy that complained about losing a starting job? Football, NFL is a pure meritocracy, and if it's not, then you're gonna lose because of inefficiencies. There's just no way around it.
It also felt like guys played harder for Hurts. Like I don't know if that's just happenstance, but
and they had a nice they were 7.5 point dogs against who was it, San Fran last year, and they pull off the victory and stuff like that. I know it's like a small sample and almost anecdotal in nature, but I don't know, that just sticks with people, and at least your teammates too, they believe, right? Whether it was just happenstance from math or not, it's there's something to it.
I saw some negative press towards Miles Sanders, saying that he could even possibly lose his job to Gainwell.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable.
Yeah, they always talk about that. But it's also like you're going to pull your goalie at like the bottom of the barrel, right? Like it's like how much worse can you play after you pull your goalie in hockey? Just out of the reach of Devontae Smith.
Oh, I thought
if it's that. Smith on Sherman, that's a matchup that Smith's going to win pretty much every time.
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
He had some pretty nice separation there, and Sherman pretty much ran his route. So let's see if we get that same matchup. Yep, we do. So I'm just going to watch that top matchup. I know it's not usually something I watch for, but we'll see.
He's bad. Richard Sherman's just physically bad. He's bad.
I like that Barrett didn't hesitate. Like, even though he did jump offside, he just kept going.
Why give him a free play, right?
Exactly. I don't know if you saw Fat Guy, and you might already have the follow on Twitter, but I shared some fourth down information on the Discord.
I did.
And the Browns had a perfect fourth down rating as far as decision making goes.
That kind of goes back to what I was saying. I am surprised at the Chargers. I thought they would be right there, neck and neck. But there might be more to it, because I think some of this is broad generalization. So I would say it's probably close to accurate, but I think your data could be better in some of these spots. This could be a big play here. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a tackle 43.
It's funny that Pierre-Paul tried to sell that he was getting held, which he kind of was. But if he just kept playing, like, he probably would have got the foul instead of like letting up.
I don't like this. I mean, they've already said it. I don't like this read option. This is a good D line that's fresh. Like, why don't you know what I mean? I don't. If they guess right, you're gonna lose. Just like you have a big advantage, receiver to secondary. Just burn them out. Like,
Well, the other thing too is he's kept the ball twice, as far as I can tell on these read options. Like you got to give the ball up to the running back once in a while because you're part of that threat, right?
yeah,
Especially after you've just made a big play on third down with your legs. Like
that got batted.
I don't know how far behind I am, but the line on the spread just moved, so I'm expecting something to happen on this next play.
Let's... Sherman's playing deep here. They got 3 safeties rolling right now, though. A lot of space in the middle here.
Well, they're lined up in zone. Like it's very, very evident that they are. What a catch. Holy. And the what's interesting there is that the line was actually moved in Tampa Bay's favor to 10. So I thought it was going to be a good Tampa Bay play. Watkins has been arguably the MVP for the Eagles in this early season.
That was insane. Ooh, the blondie, Zach Ertz. Little Swedish boy.
I had to start Ertz in fantasy this week because Goddard's out.
Oh, yeah?
That ball was tipped and Watkins made the catch.
Oh, man.
Even more impressive than I thought originally.
Even more of a fluke. That's a fun name, Quez.
No, it's
Quez.
he's like a late round rookie or an undrafted rookie. I think maybe from last year. He's just been explosive. He's kind of like a very poor man's Tyreek Hill. I remember he had like an 80-yard touchdown in the preseason. He's been the darling of the Eagles this year. Sherman is limping on the sidelines from having to run too fast.
25. Was there a clipping call?
I didn't see. They managed to get the D-line to jump again.
Man, this D-line's hungry, man. Another reason not to run a read option if these guys are like so committed. There you go.
Well, they just keep this snap count stuff going. They're getting him to jump. That's Sherman definitely has a limp walking off the field.
That's almost bad for Philly.
Oh, so Miles Sanders took the penalty. I don't know how he managed to get a 15-yard penalty.
Didn't really show it. That's gonna hurt him. He's not on the field, is he still? Yeah, he is. Bomb.
Great
Bomb.
catch by Rager.
Oh man, and that was PI.
He dropped that ball so fast it was like puzzling.
Yeah.
And the live line's down to 5, so nice to see.
This is how you do it though, man. You bomb long and get the receiver to come back.
Yeah.
It always works out better that way. Like, cause it's like, it's like when you jump in basketball, the guy jumps and he like gets a foul, then shoots up like a garbage shot that sometimes goes in.
I thought Rager made that catch and he didn't. So good thing the flags were thrown. Yeah, Untouchable says Rager sucks in his opinion.
It's a first-round receiver. Nice one.
The other thing that's tough, too, is, like, with a guy like Quez is you never know, like, what his progression is like. Like, maybe he just doesn't know the playbook enough to be out there all the time.
Or what their football IQ is, which is 0 for some of these guys.
Because
what a play.
He's a tremendous athlete.
Zach Ertz touchdown. Big right extends his lucky streak in fantasy to 3 years.
Yeah, keeps going. I don't know what it is with pass catchers and me, but like
You just start whoever and you get a touchdown.
I drafted Mike Williams late, Debo Samuel. Somehow both guys are in the top 3 for receivers. I don't know what it is, but I draft 8 running backs or 7 running backs in a row. I can't get a good running back ever.
Oh.
Very nice play. And this game is tied up. It's interesting that even though they scored a touchdown, somehow the line went from 5 to 6. So you explain that to me,
Well,
how
what
that
if
works.
they miss this kick?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's good.
No, I'm just confused as usual.
The pick plays were great. Who was it? It was the Eagles. It was Greg Ward had a pick play that he got called for, and it ended up being a field goal last week against Carolina. And I just remember how poorly executed it was by Greg Ward, because he just ran up and essentially bodied the corner that was on man on the other guy. And like, I've seen some tight ends do it because they do it the best usually. Like Kelsey, if you watch Travis Kelsey set those picks, like, oh man, is he great? Because what you want to do is square up to the quarterback, but you want to pivot so it like essentially like how you'd box out in basketball. Like you kind of pivot one way. So if the guy's trying to get around you that way, you could pivot around. Fat guy, you would know. Like playing soccer, if a guy's trying to get the ball off you, you turn towards them so they can't get around you, right? Like,
yeah, well,
you're the king at that.
But then you create distance with the ball, your body from the ball, and then use your weight to go in front of them. I was the best at that. I would challenge anyone to take the ball off me. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Well, you had the physical tools to be able to get it done. Like you had a huge advantage when it came to that. But that's what I hate to see with like Greg Ward. You run full speed into a guy and just put your arms up like this and hit the other corner. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's such a simple play, easy play to make, where the ref's not going to call it. Like, if you're looking back towards the ball and pivoting back, like a guy runs through your back, the ref's going to call it on you? Not a chance.
Well, the other thing too is a pick play can be executed well very slowly. You know, there's no speed requirement. You know what I mean? It's better to be able to get in the right place at the right time. But
yeah, so live line 6, the OU's at 61. Money line minus 270 for Tampa, plus 223 for the Eagles. Have a good night, Jackson. I'm curious to hear what Jay says about Sirianni as well. Like, how do they feel? Because I'm still like unsure. Like, I think it's been a good start. Like, especially the offensive start with Hurts. Like, it's asking a lot of a young quarterback and a young head coach. But it's been a pretty positive start so far. To the season, that is. The game's been good too. It's really nice that they were able to answer back. I just hope that Philly stays with their foot on the gas as far as attacking these corners. Because that's another thing too. Jamel Dean is like a big corner. So if you got to run 40 yards down the field, like I feel like those big lanky corners have a tougher time the further you get away from the line of scrimmage. I have no science to back that up other than
Sherman's got ruled out just now.
yeah, he's like pulled his hamstring. It's at like he's got to be at 100% to even be useful on the field. Like he can't play through a nagging injury.
He's below a like he's a replacement level player.
Yeah,
like at full health.
Really, really nice tackle here by who I'm assuming is a corner at number 3.
Wow. You know what it is about Sherman is they say everything the coach wants to hear. Do you know what I mean? And they have full grasp of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
As Steven Nelson. But what happens is in the execution part, they're not physically able, but they still earn the job because, you know, if you have some dumb rookie, like they're always going to, you know what I mean? From a coach's standpoint, at least one guy knows how. but the guy who even knows how to execute it isn't able to, right? So I feel like they hang on to those guys. There's a lot of those in sports that hang on for way, way too long, and I think he's one of them. He signed out of necessity though. That's
Yeah.
3 extra tough yards from Fournette.
And the thing, like, if Sherman has to play his little 10-yard zone, like, he's going to be fine. Like, he'll be able to do that. You're just limited in what you can do with him. Like, he's not going to be able to chase a guy across to the
But if you have any
formation.
confidence as a play caller, you're going to not do that.
Yeah, know, like he'd rather have more things to do than just rely on that one play, or you're limited. But like, think about how many touchdowns in the NFL are just because of like breakdowns in coverage. Like it's not like a physical thing at all, right? It's mental. So I guess your argument there is just some coaches are going to
play man for the most part.
Yeah,
get some smart guys to play zone. That's it. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that like some of these super athletes that aren't exactly the brightest, because there has to be a gap in intelligence among players. There just is. So guys that are super athletes that aren't as sharp, they should just play press man. Learn that. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They try and force zone into so many of these guys, and they're horrible at it. They're absolutely horrible at it, and they don't even get to use their physical abilities. And I like that play. I like these, even though they're probably illegal because he's lowering his crown every time. I like these Fournette like pops. You know what I mean? Like he's
attacking for sure.
It's the physicality that didn't really happen in Jacksonville. You know what I mean?
They're highlighting here how they're playing 2 men deep, at least on that play. The one of the best ways to beat that is for a quarterback to run, but Brady's interesting, right? Because you can play that coverage and not have to worry.
This D coordinator looks like he's had plastic surgery done. That might be tripping against. No, they're not going to call it against Tampa Bay on Javon Hargrave. That was. See the guy tumble instantly.
I unfortunately missed it, but like, I think Brady is more than happy to just dink and dunk this ball down the field. How old is the Eagles coordinator?
Gannon.
It's Jonathan Gannon, and he's 38.
Oh, it's even older than I thought. Man, look at that. He did it again. How many yards after contact? He's asking to come out now. Has Fournette got today? And those have been like important yards too.
Well, it's super important. Like this is with this defense that they're playing, because they're playing pretty soft, right? They're playing soft, but if you play soft like this, you have to be quick up the field to make those tackles, because you want to make you want to prevent. These are 3-4 yard gains that are going for 6 or 7 thanks to Fournette.
Yeah, or 7 for 11, like just now. I don't know, like it's on the list of guys you want to tackle. From a body perspective, Fournette's not exactly high on the list. Like you're gonna feel those after a bit.
But that also Philly feels like they have smaller linebackers, so like Fournette can take advantage of it.
Sorry, I had to comment on Terry's money. It was a briefcase full of money, and it was $25,000. Was it all ones?
Yeah.
Like. I think it would have to be. It'd have to be all ones.
To me, if Ronald Jones is in the game, like, I'm attacking that ball when it's in his hands. He just feels like a guy that's going to fumble more often than other backs.
Well, I don't know. Both of him and Fournette have been lowering their helmet every play so far, and protecting the ball, it looks like. But you got to gamble for turnovers, I feel, in this matchup with Tampa Bay. Like, outgunning them's pretty tough, right? Like, Oh man, nice job, 78.
Antonio Brown touchdown. Antonio Brown sure looked like he's played very well
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
played
Like
like,
I know he's had more
yeah.
opportunity than probably last year, but
Watch his play by 78.
I don't even see anybody on Brown the entire time he
Well,
runs
that was
this route.
4 guys playing zone. Look at this garbage, man.
I don't even get what the point is of being like 5 yards deep in the end zone on that play. Like as far as zone goes,
I've
like
I have another question about it. You you go up to what Mickey said. They've got to figure out a way to dial up pressure on Brady. Well, if you got 4 guys standing around, I'm pretty sure you have the personnel. You know what I mean? That's 3 more guys that could have been sent his way, right?
live lines 8.5, OU 63.
Because like these 2 drives from Tampa Bay have been so easy.
Yeah, because it's Philly sitting back. They're keeping everything in front of them, but like it's easy for Brady because he's just gonna take, whatever the shortest route is, dump it off. And with that last one, like that zone coverage was just terrible. But
And
that's the kind of play you draw up, right? Like you have 2 receivers in pretty much the same zone, and then you got everyone else just playing their zone with no one around. Zone defense in sports is such an interesting thing because like essentially you want to play man inside of that zone, but it's hard to have that awareness, right? You have to be fluid as a defense. You have to have all 7 guys back there working together in that zone, passing off.
I've seen it work in soccer, like, but that's the only time, like, in any sport where I actually didn't mind it. Like, man, in football, it just seems so like obviously I like a hybrid where it's like a man zone concept. So like certain guys play zone and then they just double up on players that get the beat on somebody else. You know what I mean? But
Zone
I
can
don't know
work
why
really
you.
well in basketball, but you need to have like if you're playing against good shooters, it becomes very, very hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe,
Which
Mickey.
and then like haven't you realized too, like, okay, so you're building this, you can use the term, all right, I'm building this we're rebuilding the defense. You know what I mean? They could make that argument with Philadelphia. But wouldn't you want something that's probably at least a little bit effective against top tier offenses? Because this is 2 weeks now. Against Kansas City, they didn't give up a punt. Two for 2 touchdowns against Tampa Bay, and I don't think Tampa Bay has had 2 easier touchdowns in their lives. You know, like I don't understand. Like, what's you still have egg on your face if they put 7 up. I'd rather zero blitz it. You know what I mean? At least there's a chance it's something bad happening for the opposing offense.
Well, the game plan that they've come in with hasn't worked out very well so far.
Now, and like I'm criticizing, but there's data behind it too, like not data, history, anecdotal history, which probably is data as well. So
Brandon Graham's on IR, so that doesn't help out the
yeah,
D
that
line.
still shouldn't be that bad.
Well, we'll see if this puts a ton of pressure on Hurts this game to like if
Does
he
it
has to
ever?
match scores, it's gonna be tough.
Well, he is. The one good thing though is like Tampa Bay is it's a little bit they're in a little bit of a tough spot right now, defensively.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
they're
be
gonna have to use
awesome.
all of them. Yeah, they have to use all of them for defense, all of them.
Well, especially if their offense keeps performing this way, like it's the offense is, if it's third in that net per play.
I gotta be. Usually, you and I are railing for the run. I don't think that's the way to beat the Bucks today. I think this is a chuck it game. It really is.
Well, they're going hurry up.
They got a good look for that.
Well, look up top. There's only one. They've got a very interesting coverage for how it's lined up there.
So hokey.
How did Philly get all their first round picks? I'm guessing Wentz.
Well, Wentz is one of them. He's only one pick. And that depends on snap count too, to be honest.
So they got one from the Colts and one from the Dolphins.
Yeah, did the Dolphins trade up for Jalen Waddle?
Yeah, they did. It said
Oh my!
traded the 6th round pick. So Jalen Waddle was a 6 overall pick. That's crazy. Somehow there was also the number 12 pick in there, which ended up being Micah Parsons. So I don't know exactly how that trade all went down. It's confusing how it's listed on this site. And then Wentz, 2022 conditional round pick, first round if Wentz plays 75% of snaps, or if Wentz plays 70% of snaps and Colts qualify for the playoffs. If not, then it's a 2nd round pick. Yeah, so if Wentz stays healthy enough to play 75% of the snaps, they're going to have 3 first round picks next year.
Can't hate on that. That's pretty good.
And even if it doesn't, then they'd have 2 firsts and 2 seconds. And there's a good chance too, like if Wentz is out, the Colts are probably going to finish low, so it's going to be like a high 2nd round pick.
They're already unlikely to finish high. Like, it's not looking good. Like, that Baltimore game really hurt them.
Untouchable thinks that Sirianni should let someone else call plays. Where did Sirianni come from?
I think the Colts.
And Sirianni's only 40. Let's see. Yeah, he was the Colts offensive coordinator for 2018 to 2020. And then he was a wide receivers coach and offensive quality control coach for the Chargers 2013-2017. And quarterback coach at one point. So he would have been like the same age as Phillip Rivers when he was coaching him as a quarterback coach in between the San Diego, LA Chargers. All right, 2nd and 9. Back to the air. Small completion for Devontae Smith.
What is Miami doing? They traded up for Jalen Waddle.
I don't know.
I don't care if he becomes Julio Jones or whomever his comparable is. It's not good enough.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out so far. Miami
it's so bad.
In the bottom 1 or 2 with pretty much every stat you could find. That's a team that I like and a coaching staff I like. Nice play here by, it looks like Jordan Whitehead.
He dropped. And this is it. You just have one missed possession, and game could fall apart here.
Not the best decision there for Hurts.
Aaron Sippis. It's a fun spelling of Aaron.
Well, we'll see if the Eagles come out with something differently on defense, because what they did those first 2 drives did not work out. Live line is now 12 for Tampa.
I want to know more about Jonathan Gannon because it's just surprising to me.
Why that he's So young, or
I mean, Young's fine these days, but like what separated him? I'm just curious. Like what made them think that like this was the way, right? You know,
well,
I'm being very results based, but
he was the defensive backs coach for the Colts during the same tenure, from 2018 to 2020.
yeah.
Before that, he was the assistant defensive back coach in Minnesota from 2014 to 2017. Defensive quality control coach for the Titans 2012 2013. And in 2007, he was a defensive quality control coach for the Atlanta Falcons.
Bobby Petrino, though, that's a little bit different. That that's not a that's interesting time.
He also worked for the Rams as a college scout and pro scout from 2009 to 2011.
He played as a DB.
It's got to be tough for like NFL coaches to have like a bunch of your assistant coaches kind of plucked from you. This Bucs roster definitely has a lot of names. It's interesting because the defensive strategy they've played so far makes it easier on their corners and harder on their linebackers, and it doesn't feel like it's been doesn't feel like a strength. 219 play total, 75-yard touchdown drives. That's what they need. More of that. Really nice play here by
Look at that.
29.
Look at that from 29.
Maddox.
He's not even a player I like, but he shot that gap. He knew where it was going. That was excellent anticipation.
But that's the thing with this strategy, right? Like, you keep everything in front of you and then you attack these tackles. But, like, what a play. Like, just outruns the lineman. All they could do is watch him.
Yeah, but like that's, do you see what I mean? Like, that took something special. You know what I mean? It was just, and that was a special play. It's still 3rd and 11. They're not out of it.
They brought a blitz, and he gets the tackle. What a tackle.
Who is that? Good job.
Rodney McLeod Jr.
Man, 2 impressive plays in a row.
What does Tampa do here? 4th and 2. Man, that linebacker almost made the play on the ball too.
Apparently they blitzed less than anybody in football.
The Eagles?
Yeah.
This is more like 4th and a long 1 than 4th and 2. What is going on right now in this game?
They wasted a timeout there.
Who did? Tampa?
Yeah.
Yikes. There's so much, I forget who else we saw this with, but so much indecision with some of these 4th down. I feel like it won't matter anymore, but I feel like Gruden with the Raiders was like that. Like, there's certain teams that just use timeouts a lot earlier.
These older guys, they just, I don't know what it is. And I always rail against. I hate it. I think it's really bad. That's why it's so. I love it so much. Browns, Colts, um, Chargers. They just line up like it's business as usual. That's exactly what we're supposed to do.
I can believe it, Eric. That's kind of what the line was at. Even just before kickoff. Fair catch. So Eagles get a second chance at life here. Who did Tampa lose to this year, Fat Guy?
The Rams. That was a fun beatdown.
Arians looks like he's wearing a second-hand Darth Vader Halloween costume.
Oh yeah. the little controller thing he's got there, the audio controller. Aren't things supposed to get smaller? You know what I mean? As technology advances.
It looks like he's wearing a pacemaker.
Just saw a commercial for my favorite chocolate bar, Kinder Bueno. The hazelnut filling, it's the best.
No, I thought you'd go fruit and nut.
I do, fruit and nuts right up there though. And they used to have a double mocha coffee crisp, but that was a limited time.
Fruit and nut used to be our party names. Let you guys figure out who's who.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering which one am I? You're a fruit. Look at your hair. Really selling it. Grabbing the ankles there. And back to Lincoln Financial Field.
Joe Buck, no relation to Buck Pucker.
Man, these guys must be in rehab or something.
Yeah, they get out every Thursday. They've got two players lined up in the backfield. Sanders in motion. And a difficult
Nice
3-yard
play.
gain.
Like for him to get out of that,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty good, Jay. I got to be real.
All right, 2nd and 6 here for the Eagles.
That how bad that play could have been. That was actually pretty good from Sanders. Behind you, buddy. No one tells him. That's the most basic stuff. You know, you ever played soccer? There's a guy behind you, tail, man on. Like, you can't tell him there's a guy coming behind him? Yikes, man. Or,
Third and
you
5
Yanks
here.
call it 6. Come on now.
Going 3 wide receivers at the top part of the screen. A very quick audible. And a throw is just a little bit off there to Ertz.
This is dangerous. Ah.
I gotta look up what a peanut butter tasty cake is.
I had a bowl of cereal for the first time in a couple of years recently. It was good. Shreddies? I love Shreddies.
Yeah, the tasty cakes look pretty good. The live line is Bucks minus 13 now.
I would take you up on that, Jay.
Do you have a PO box set up?
No, I cancel it, but I wouldn't mind. I'm fine with firing it up again. Cheesesteaks. Yeah, that's hard to do though with meat. You know what I mean? Because then you got to pay for a reefer, and then the shipping's like more than what it's worth. And like, I would love that though. Yikes.
I'm trying to find out what
Hey,
a PO
Jake, how are
box
ya?
even costs.
Oh, what? Sorry, PO box.
Yeah.
They're like $90 a year. They're not even that bad. It depends what size you get too.
Okay. What's going on, Jake? Does a Philly cheesesteak hold up in the mail?
Yeah, frozen. Yeah, you got to do a reefer though. That's the. God, I would love that though.
Antonio Brown getting massaged out on the sideline.
That guy shouldn't turn his back on him though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Leonard Fournette is this game is helping. Obviously, there was some other plays that are sticking out, but this is helping mold him from loser in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're getting a playoff Lenny performance.
No, we're getting ball security straight up the gut, north south with violence. That's exactly what you want, especially with this team. You don't need a big play. You don't need a 60-yard run.
I don't know if they just picked the nice plays, but I've been watching the weekly NFL Mic'd Up segment that they do on YouTube, and it's surprising how nice everyone is to each other on the field. Like, after pretty much every play, Tyreek Hill was telling the guy, like, good job, nice coverage. Like,
I'm pretty sure he knows he's being recorded.
I guess, but, like, guys were saying the same stuff to him, so, like, those guys, Like, I don't know if
Wow.
they're privy to that.
Well, their agent probably knows. Let's be real here.
Well, like, what's actually usable.
That's true too. I don't think that's an interception, but that would be awesome if it was.
He gets it.
I think that's an interception. His hands go underneath it. No, that's good. If they call that one back, it would be, very unfortunate. Mickey says 50-50. Mickey, what do you actually think the ruling should be? I'm 100% on board for interception.
I think that was an
the odds are
interception,
right.
but on the flip side, like, if you look really closely, maybe the ball moves when it makes contact with the ground, but I'll be back in a moment.
INT? Yeah, fair. All right. Whether they perceive it as an INT, that's a whole nother ball of wax, which we already know about. I'm glad to have you back, Jay. I'm glad COVID didn't kick your ass too bad. It affects everyone different. I had it, but it didn't really do anything. So I had lost my sense of taste and smell. That was so weird for maybe 6 days, I'm gonna say. And I was tired for a day and a half, maybe 2. That was it. I think I worked on the book the entire time I was sick, which got me not nearly as far as I'd like to. Yeah, the older you get, the more likely it is to affect you. I think that's an interception. When the ball moves, it's him turning his hand. Oh my God, he says reverse. I don't think it even touches the ground. You have to look at it the other way. This would be really unfortunate. Arians wants a PI call on that against Braid. I don't think it's right. Yeah. Big Rye put up the most points I've ever seen in a 10-team standard league. 167. And I think too, with Big Rye's huge win, he overtook me in points, most points for. I didn't like that. 5-0 though. Ooh.
That's what really counts, right?
It does, doesn't it?
That's what you say when you have less points for, anyways.
Yeah.
So have they made a ruling yet on this play?
No.
Like the ball's in his hands, pretty secure.
I don't see how that's not an interception. Because even when it turns, it's his arm turning it.
I just had a very fortunate week. The thing that sucks too is like when you put up that much fantasy points in one week, like you're probably getting regression the next week. Like all of a sudden my projections went up like 10 points. Like that's never a good
Yeah,
sign.
right.
Yeah, that's tough to hear, Mickey. Glad she hopefully she comes out unscathed. Why is Arians yelling at the ref? Maybe because they're taking too long and he's got somewhere to be. They Arians was one of the guys who was mic'd up and like he was especially salty. Like everyone else was having a good time and stuff, and Arians was, and they've just ruled it an incomplete. Mickey
That's
says
such
BS.
garbage. I think it's garbage too.
They always talk about like it has to be clear too.
Yeah, it hasn't been clear any of these.
Yeah, I was surprised, Jay.
I want to see the guy at the Xbox controller again. I want to know what they're talking about.
Oh, the
XFL? That was awesome. And it was quicker. Oh. Oh, Mike Trout. I think so, Eric. I think two.
Yeah, he's had at least one.
You're probably close, to be honest, Eric. Nice play.
They've kind of like I feel like Ertz has kind of been talked down lately, but he's had an excellent start to this season.
Yeah. I don't know if I like this formation. They should send a go, though, on the top of the screen. And they do, and they throw it to him, and it's an interception. Mm.
Dean did a pretty good job keeping up with him.
Yeah. I don't know. He was trying to like cut the route. I don't exactly get it. Maybe it was just overthrown. Like they just were over reading it. That was an arm punt for the most part, though. Oh,
Brady hit as he's thrown on that last one.
I thought something bad was going to come out of that.
That's the one thing with Brady. Like, if he starts getting hit a lot, like, there's just not a lot of precedence of people that age getting hit that much.
Peyton Manning last year, they won it all though. That should have been a penalty against 28. He punched Ryan Jensen in the face just now.
I didn't see that.
Holy. I never get the face punches. The guy's wearing a helmet. Open palm to the ear. I could see that makes more sense. What a screen. Do you see? And they had a convoy. Oh,
Yeah, made that easy for Antonio Brown. That ball came out of Brady's hands extra fast, too. Like, that's just, it's good execution.
yeah. And Evans and Godwin are blocking.
Well, there's the over for 4 net yards, so congrats, Eric. Ka-ching. I wonder what the numbers signify on Sirianni's hat. Or Sirianni's hat.
I think it's fortune cookie numbers that said BU.
Which play caller had that?
Matt Nagy. Players out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Screen to OJ Howard. I've seen this. I've seen teams doing this more with success, like getting bigger guys the ball on screens because they're not quite as fast, so they don't outrun blocks. And at the same time, like if it's a one-on-one, they can sometimes just strength their way through.
Well, it's straight line too. They're gonna be fine, right? That was nice from Ryan Jensen, just like get in the way.
Yeah, it was a smart play for him not to like push the guy in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Just get in the way. Yeah. Nice hit.
It's hard to tell where they're going to spot this ball because it's about a half yard short of that yellow line if that's anywhere close to official. Yeah, that makes sense. Untouchable. Third and 1 here for the Bucks. Fournette fights his way through for a first down.
I don't have a sleep number. I've considered it, but I don't know. I probably have to buy a whole new bed setup, like pretty soon, to be honest.
I think my mattress is Casper. It's really good. I'd definitely recommend. Miami, Jacksonville, in London, it's pretty much like the poo-poo platter if you get a game in London. It might be worth just taking the I'm joking by saying this, but just taking the under on any team that, like, the season win total under on any team that plays in London.
Yeah. It's a good indicator.
Fournette in for the touchdown.
I knew that, Mickey. Of course I knew that. That's why I subscribe to Great Dane Picks.
I actually stopped by and told him, like, good luck and keep doing what you're doing. The Touchable said he has a snoring problem and I can't find good pillows, so thinking sleep number bed might do the trick. Tampa Bay goes up by 14. Live line is 14.5. And the OU's come down to 56.5. They sure do. You know what's super nice is Tampa Bay started with the ball. So if Philly can get a score here, technically they're in control to bring this to a tie with 2 successful touchdown drives and proper clock management. They still have all 3 of their timeouts, so they can really take their time with this drive. $80 yards and a touchdown for Fournette to start this game. All right. Eagles start 3 wide with Ertz at tight end.
Three timeouts is nice here. You get out.
Not a very efficient night from Hurts. 5-11 for 54 yards. Touchdown and interception against a secondary that hasn't looked great at times. So you're hoping that a guy like Devontae Smith can get some separation against Jamal Dean at the top of the screen.
Oh, man. Dude, Shaq Barrett is fast, man.
He looked incredibly fast there. He pretty much kept up step for step. So it's 3rd and 6 here.
Good point, Mickey. Never.
So they're in zone. So this is extra bad because they didn't take very much time off the clock, and Tampa's going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts. So it's like you really shoot yourself in the foot by that last drive. Oh, I sure do.
Why would you need it in a can? There's no fizz. The can is a far better receptacle than the plastic. Oh. I always feel like Mickens is going to fumble. Him and that returner for the Rams. They just look like dainty, fragile, fast guys.
Yeah. Wow. 5-star entertainment from Mark Sanchez is acting here. Holy smokes. I hope so, Eric. Hopefully it's nice if Tampa does win it. Hopefully they win big. But they won big last week, and this line didn't get affected too much.
Yeah, Philly beat Carolina on the road, though.
That's true.
It's going to help a bit.
Let's see who the Bucs play next week, just to keep an eye out. They play the Bears.
Why'd the game clock get reset?
Man, that's barely anything from Kappa.
And the Eagles still have 3 timeouts. Is Antonio Brown's complaining to the Eagles sideline? Clown. They look confused on defense, the Eagles. I love this. Just go down, dude. 28's like, come on, man. I set the block. I set the edge. Well, 3 timeouts here for the Eagles. In a really messy drive from the 3 plays, rather, from the... wow, he threw an elbow here. Oh, did you see Barnett chasing him down, like, for revenge on this interception return?
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably, depending on when you can get the line for Houston, there's been a lot of value just because they're super undervalued, especially to start the season. Yeah, lost 15 seconds on that running round. They still have 3 timeouts. They got lots of time. Like, it's not that bad. It would have been nice if they got some more yards from the return, but OU's 55.5. The live line is plus 15 for the Eagles, minus 112. I just realized at Pinnacle you can actually click on the NT's live lines. So you could bet anywhere from 17, 15, 14, 7, or 6.5. Right now, Tampa Bay minus 7 is minus 301 on the live line. I don't get how the ref can stand there telling him he can't do whatever it is he's doing.
Yeah, like, you don't tell him. Like,
The play's live. Like, and you're gonna run up and be yelling stuff. Like, you stay back, and if you don't like what you see, throw a flag. Like, what's the point in running up and saying a bunch of stuff? There's an accurate pass. I got a feeling we're gonna see the first time out at least. Lots of contact on that play, and definitely a drop. The inefficient night continues.
Why are they booing like when it's so obvious? Man, Shaq Barrett has been theirs. Just getting out of the Eagles' grip there hurts again. Wow.
Well, unless they can make something happen here, it's going to be the 5th straight 3rd and out, or 3 and out for the Eagles.
He's a first-round pick. I don't imagine that you would. That's done nothing.
Not much of a pass rush here, so.
How is he not getting anybody? Man. Oh, Joe Tryon, the rookie, he added a last name.
This would have taken a little bit more awareness, but if he wasn't going to get the first down, he might as well stay in bounds and let that clock run, and or Tampa use a timeout. Well, somehow there's been what? This is the third. No, the 4th possession in the last 2 minutes, and neither team has used a timeout.
What would the gambling line be on that?
I think this might be the end of half.
Yeah. How anticlimactic the end of this half was.
Yep. Live line plus 16.5. I don't know what that is. Edger Casey style trans. Do you know what that is, fat guy?
I have an idea, and I'm not going to entertain it.
Live line down to 16 now. It's just been that was a weird first half. Just a weird first half of football.
Have they ever? I'm gonna grab something to eat real quick. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Whoa, scare ya?
I'm lucky I didn't see whatever the fat guy just did. Let's put it that way. I posted the Vegas Golden Knights LA Kings market information in the Discord if anybody is interested in seeing that. I don't think I'm going to make any plays on that game, but I guess there still is like half an hour till that puck drops. And then for games that are actually on that some of us made plays on, let's take a look and see. I see that Carolina has a 2-goal lead with just under 3 minutes left, and unfortunately Nashville's down 1, hosting Seattle, down 1 goal in the second intermission. Fat guy back in the building. We get a clear view of the top of his head. There you go. Live line's down to 15.5. So it started at 16.5 at the start of half, and it's come down to 15.5. You think there's an influx in the purchase of Toyotas during halftime shows?
If you were close, it would probably push you over the top.
Yeah, Columbus won big tonight, 8-2 over the Arizona Coyotes.
How'd Nashville do?
Nashville's currently down 1 goal in the second intermission. And then Carolina's up 2 goals with a minute 24 left in the game. What'd you get to eat?
I got a sandwich and some leftover Thanksgiving stuff.
Nice.
And some lamb. I don't know.
Oh, perfect. I've started watching more cooking shows on YouTube. And the guy who's been The best for me so far to watch is a guy named Kenji.
J. Kenji Lopez Alt.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I've enjoyed it. I tried Chef John stuff, but my wife thinks his voice is annoying.
Why are these guys acting like they're such huge pros and Mark Sanchez is like a rookie? It's so lame.
The Chef John seems very like aloof but relatable. I wasn't sure about Kenji at first because he has the like POV camera, and now I love it. It took me a couple minutes to get used to it.
He took his wife's last name. That weirded me out a bit, but
Yeah, that's interesting. But when you have a Colombian wife, you'll do lots of things. Fat guy reminds me of the Don Murico interview. He ate a meatball sandwich while promoting his match against Pedro. Zaps was on Carolina, Dallas, Montreal, Florida, Seattle, and Vegas for hockey tonight. Nice. So lots of hockey plays. The Panthers win. I got to double check to see. Both Florida and Carolina win. Carolina even got an empty netter at the end. Yeah.
a lot of the one of the chat groups I'm in was talking about how bad Coyotes the Coyotes were before excuse me before the games started. And ouch. Thank you.
It with the team that they've thrown out there, it really feels like they're kind of throwing the season.
Didn't they have an analytics guy for years and then he quit or whatever?
Yeah, they hired a really, really young GM. It just didn't, like, who knows what actually happened. But they made a trade with the Canucks, and like a lot of the, like, they've, at least according to this, like three of those guys are playing. But then I'm looking at goalies as well. It's just not a strong team. Quite a few veteran guys too. Like Andrew Ladd, Phil Kessel, Antoine Roussel, Louis Eriksson, Jay Beagle.
Those, correct me if I'm wrong. Not that I'm a Canucks fan. Antoine Roussel, Jay Beagle, and Louis Eriksson, aren't those guys that could barely play for the Canucks?
Yeah. So it's tough. But the Canucks traded it, like a bunch of their future for Ekman Larson and the other winger, Garland, or whatever his name is. Zap said Arizona is easily the worst team. Yeah, Untouchable got the he took Carolina in regulation, so they won in regulation, winning by 3. So he hit it at plus 123, which is nice. If you had the Red Wings tonight, I'm sure the juice was good, even at plus 1.5. Let's see what the Detroit. Yeah, even plus 1.5 for Detroit was minus 130. Oh, this game's back on. Okay, well.
You see that catch?
No, I didn't, but I will now.
One-handed spinning pirouette catch. Ertz has a huge bruise on the inside of his arm.
Yeah, Zaps. I haven't followed like transactions for hockey, but that, even with my limited like knowledge, because I haven't watched very closely for the last year or two, it doesn't look like a good roster.
Man, do you see Vita Vea just stop that player dead in his tracks?
He's a brick.
Yeah.
House.
Dude, that guy must be huge in real life.
Yeah. Sanders has had some really good success the last few years. It's interesting to see him kind of struggle to start this season. And a lot of it seemed like a lot of contact at the top of that route, but let's see this replay. No, Dean just like muscled him off the spot. It doesn't seem like a very productive route to run against like that receiver versus that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zaps. That's what it looked like from just looking it over. Because that's the one thing I remember there, at least analytically, their goalies have always been pretty good the last few seasons. It's one of those things where it's like they always had the goalies like in the top 5 for every analytic, and then the team was always terrible. And I'm trying to remember which goalies that it was, like Kemper. I forget who else. Not that it matters.
Who, Darcy?
Yeah, Darcy Kemper.
I had her back in high school.
All day I keep saying, "Hey Ashton, I heard you're dating Mary Tyler
Tyler
Moore."
Moore.
I still think that's like way funnier than it should be.
It is though. It should be very funny, and it is. The best part is like, I don't know. I could dissect that joke for another 10 minutes. Perfect. I hope I can be even a little bit like that. When I'm older.
Was it Kemper and it wasn't Ranta? I thought there was someone else that they had. Maybe it was the year before. It must have been Kemper and Ranta because it wasn't Aiden Hill.
Anti-Rata.
Yeah, I think it was Ranta, but I can't remember. I forget even what the site, the analytics site.
Mickey, do you have an RV? You're the most likely to seem like to have an RV. I kind of want to do like an RV trip in the summer, and I don't know. Just curious. Who knows if I could afford the gas or petrol for everyone in the UK?
All right, Tampa 1st and 10.
Tempo.
Going full Stevie Janowski.
Man, these plays, like, it's just, you see that and you're like, how could you stop that? You know what I mean? Fair enough, Mickey. You ever do a Grand Canyon trip from where you live? That seems like that would be a fun one. You know, like it would take a few weeks in the summer. Nice run, Fournette. God, and then he
Continuing his
pushes
strong play.
forward. Like I the lingering bad taste in my mouth is from the Jacksonville days. But man, this has been pretty good.
Well, apparently Bruce Arians not a George Michael fan.
Yeah. He just needs to let someone put his tiny hand in his.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, Mick. I have a question. If you can't stop the run or pass, what does that make you?
Swiss cheese.
Oh man. All Fournette. Troy Aikman, perhaps breaking protocols of rehab there. Yikes.
It's going to be tough when you pretty much know exactly what they're going to do at the line of scrimmage and they still get it done.
Did it say 2007 or 2003? 2003, seventh overall
2003
pick.
was his draft.
So he got drafted 3 years after Brady. Isn't that weird?
That is strange.
Man, this looks good too. Nice huff effort from Singleton, but
Well, I was just going to say, one of the linemen completely missed their blocking assignment, and it didn't matter because Howard just, like, to be honest, though, Singleton can't be trying to tackle that guy from the shoulders.
No.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just a bad, like, I get the efforts there, but it's just very poor execution.
Well, they've picked on him all the entire time.
Tampa has to use a timeout here. But I don't know how much they're going to need these timeouts at the end of the game. Yeah, the flags have been pretty much non-existent this game.
There's that one PI against Dean on Jalen Rieger.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can remember, really. Oh, there was something against Sanders for 15
had the
yards.
15-yarder.
And a Kappa false start, and I think 3 encroachments by Tampa, and that's it.
Eric is as happy as a fat guy winning a wager because he is a fat guy. Okay. Okay.
All right, no one was asking. Jeez.
I don't know if anybody made a play in this game. At least in the chat. The live line is up to 20.
Wow, that's a cool photo.
Nice catch from OJ Howard.
Man, it just looks so easy. They're like when this offense is humming, you know. Yeah, I'd like to know the Giants Dodgers score myself.
It's tied at the bottom of the fourth, 0-0.
Dude, that's another good block by Godwin. Wow, I can't believe you didn't get in there.
I thought he was in for sure, but the quarter who made the tackle just sold out his entire body to make sure it didn't happen. He even kicked him at the end.
Yeah, he almost tripped. That was Maddox. Maddox had that other play where he blew up the screen or whatever. Chris Godwin had a nice block on that, though. Like, it's if Chris Godwin can block, shouldn't anybody be able to, really? He's not a big receiver. He's not tiny, but he's not big.
They threw a flag on Slay here. Oh, man. That's a really tough call on Slay, but
I think he got thrown out of the way, if anything.
yeah, that's... Yeah, Godwin is a football player. That's a good way to
I know,
put it.
but shouldn't everyone, Mickey? Like, why are we surprised? You know what I mean? There's so many receivers that do the block like this. Like they're diving on a floaty.
It just seems so unnecessary to bring Godwin in motion on that play with how easily they've been able to run it up the gut.
I think he was in. For my fantasy purposes, I'd prefer if he wasn't, but I think he was in. He's like AB before AB went crazy. I wouldn't go that far, but I don't think AB blocked. That's a touchdown.
I think we're going to get a Brady sneak here.
Yeah, that would be so apropos, eh? That's easy to get.
To be honest, though, like if that was a 9-minute drive from Tampa, like just perfect football. Like when you're up in a game, to do that. So that puts them up 20 with an extra point upcoming.
Yeah, young. Yeah, okay.
28 looked like he just completely gave up on that play because he pretty much just went behind his D lineman and didn't do anything. That was a weird look at that.
This has been a listless game. Holy, has it ever. Feel bad for Josh Allen. Of all the games to go to. Because there have been some thrillers, right? Like,
That's pretty cool from that fan to give the other guy the ball. That's pretty nice of him.
Look how disgusted the guy with the mustache in the back is.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. This game's tough to watch. It's pretty annoying though, right? Like you think that guy's a diehard Tampa fan? Like maybe, but
I doubt it.
Yeah, classy move. Game ain't over yet, said Untouchable. It really isn't. Like, they could come back. It's unlikely, but they could come back. Right now, the live line is minus 21.5. But juice on the Eagles side at minus 135. You guys prefer like a setup like this with fat guy down in the corner?
Are you allowed to? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
We might get demonized, Untouchable J. Too late.
Well, that ball hit Rager in the hands. We get a flag on the play, though. I don't see where this flag is.
Maybe he grabbed his other hand. I don't know. I don't like Rager though. I'm starting to, I didn't like him before, but this is the first game where I've like paid attention to him.
He slowed down too.
Oh, I don't. That's so lame. I don't think he was catching that anyways. I guess he grabbed that arm.
The line, the corner did grab his arm, so. And he sold it by not bringing that arm up.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mickey. Because that play seemed like it was designed to get him with that matchup. I've also didn't realize that you could bring a guy in motion like that at receiver and then get him going. That's a very like CFL thing to do.
I was just gonna say that it did look like a CFL play.
Really nice tackle there from Devin White.
Man.
Second and 9 here for the Eagles.
Aikman says, I think the kid can play. All right.
See, that's how you tackle a tight end in open space compared to what...
wow. Alex Singleton was pulling off.
Yeah.
That could have been a bigger play, though, like Jade had mentioned. Well, you should be setting this up for 4 downs. Like, it's not even a question, right?
You need to be like Baltimore. Like, you got to just kind of decide, like, it's a touchdown every time you touch the ball now.
Yeah. Like a hurry-up touchdown, which is what they should be doing. Yikes. Jokingly, Troy Aikman, it's all about results. He's right.
Nice block there by Arcega Whiteside, I believe.
Arcega Whiteside?
Is something like that.
Look at Barrett run him down, eh? Gate to wire.
Just a great player. It's funny to think that he was like a
A throwaway by
well, no,
Denver.
well, I wouldn't say a throwaway, but
Well,
I'm almost surprised that wasn't pass interference.
I don't know. He caught it too, eh?
He caught it and somehow got 1 foot in bounds, but he was contacted before the ball got there, and the guy wasn't even looking at the ball. I can't believe that. It's funny because the ref's actually looking down to see if he gets his feet in to not actually make the call.
Yeah.
4th and 3 here. Eagles lining up to go for it. And he gets in. Extra point is good, so it's back to a, not that that changes it, but it's still a 2-possession game. Mike Trout loving it. This is going to sound really dumb, but which team does Trout play for?
LA Angels.
Has he been like the best player in baseball for like a bunch of years now? Is he still
I'm not
considered
the right guy
best?
to ask, but I think so. He has a guy on his team that's better than him, though. This guy named Otani, who's like one of the best hitters and pitchers. So I think Mickey would know the best. So
Ranking the best players. Let's see who we got. Mike Trout, number 1. Mookie Betts, number 2. Juan Soto, number 3.
when's the article from?
It's from ESPN, March 24th. So I think it was before this season started.
Yeah, I think he got overtaken by a guy on his team, Otani. There you go, Mickey Otani, best player. Look how like disingenuous this lotto commercial is. Think about what you could do if you win the money. Well, you're not winning the money. Let's be real here. Like, what a garbage thing to do. Just like to gang up on poor people. It's such a joke, man. I have a wealthy friend that plays the lottery from time to time, and I always bug him, what are you going to do if you win? Oh, right. Absolutely nothing. He might buy a better house. Big deal.
So this guy, Otani, pitches and hits?
Yes.
I see he's 9-2 as a pitcher. And it
Two
says
best
that
players
he's
still make the playoffs, yeah.
It says that he has his offensive runs above replacement level is 52, which I don't know anything about baseball analytics, but it just sounds very impressive.
Jay, if the Mega Millions there is 600 million, what's the rake? How much they keeping? That's what I want to know.
Well, isn't like they kind of treat it like the lottery, right? Isn't it like a 50-50 thing? But then there's probably even taxes paid on the winnings, so it's like
There's taxes paid in America, not Canada, so it's even worse there. You know what I'm gonna thank COVID for? There's less Borgs on the sideline, or NPCs, like useless people for each team. There's just less of them.
it still feels like way too many, but
Yeah.
this is how the defense was like. If they're gonna set up like how they were, this is how they had to play at the start of the game, like aggressive on these screens. Like the second that ball was out, at least those guys were like off their back foot, moving forward. There's just nothing I hate more than watching a defender stay in place. Third and 10 here. This is kind of where Brady makes the difference, right? Fletcher Cox was able to get there, and it's all about them making a tackle. Hargrave sold out from the back. probably gave Epps a concussion.
You see how hard he hit him in the back?
Yeah.
That was awesome. He's like, I'm just gonna pile into this guy. Oh man, that was rad.
I didn't see Mike Evans with the Olay. I missed that one. Well, all of a sudden, if they do punt this ball, like Philly's got the chance to make it a one-score game. Flag on the play, which usually isn't a good indicator for the receiving team. Holding, so they're going to lose some yards.
There's some life, though. There's some life in this game. I mean, none of that was necessary, but like...
It's going to be first and 10 at their own 15.
I got to be honest, I got a little bit of a morphine drip when Hargrave just smoked that guy in the back.
Oh, it's great.
I remember playing soccer, and I was only like 225 in my heaviest playing soccer. I remember just falling on a guy with my hip right on his head on purpose. Like, oh no. And just burying that guy, my hip right in his face. And
what a play by Shaq Barrett.
Oh, that was pretty good. I can only imagine the feeling when you're like a 350-pound athletic man and you just hammer all your body weight into some guy's back. Like,
I'm interested to see if they try to get a playoff here, because they definitely should be trying to get this off as quickly as they can. And
look at the ref. Look at the ref.
Oh man, just bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad. That's so bad. It's like I'm even having I just keep saying it's so bad, because it is. Like, you're trying to win this game. You're down 2 scores. You need as much time, as many possessions as you can to finish off this game, and they just wasted like 30 seconds on that play. Oh man. I can't believe that's a thing. They just highlighted that Timbits now has cereals.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, that's...
Yeah, gross. I don't know.
Well, it's because that other company bought them, so now they're doing weird stuff. Now,
I
I
think
didn't
Burger
like
King
Tim
owns
Hortons. I didn't like Tim Hortons to start with, but this isn't... It's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, I think Burger King owns them.
When's Burger King going to come out with cereals?
I don't know. It'd be like the King's Head or something, but it doesn't look right. Thought Howie Mandel died or something bad happened to him.
Nothing's happening to that germaphobe.
No, I think that's exactly why it is. Oh, he passed out at Starbucks. Whoopsie.
The best thing is you heard about that from somewhere.
I did hear about it from somewhere. That's how lame.
You need to cut out some of your news feed. Holy smokes. Single event betting now available at playnow.com. Interesting.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We spoke about this multiple times.
Well, I didn't. I know the law came into place. I didn't know that they actually had done that.
I posted about it with the deposit bonus in the Discord. Dude, John Runyon.
3-2 Kraken end of the second. Yeah, there's like 2 minutes left in that game. It looks like it's still 3-2.
Oh man, 45. Did they get that? Wow.
That's a catch.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Philly's been getting jagged a little bit today with some of these calls.
What else is he supposed to do?
Seattle just scored, so Kraken are going to win that one. They're up 2 with 1:21 left.
First game and a victory?
They're second. They lost their first game.
Oh. Boy. Whew. They at home at least? You know, I want them to win.
2 road games to start the year. You figure they'd want to start that team
Why
at
would
home.
you do it? Would have to be, oh my God. How bad is the NHL at shit like that? Like, you had one enormous success with the Vegas Golden Knights. Wouldn't you try and like foster that behavior, if that makes any sense?
That makes total sense. I don't know why, opening night, you get the Stanley Cup favorites, which they did, or Stanley Cup winners, and then you do a home game for them. But no, they played the game in Vegas their first night. This is very, very clearly a catch.
I don't understand. That's so crazy to me. The NHL, they're such clowns, man. The Grabbler, Gary Bettman.
Yeah, that's between him and David Stern. I don't know who gets booed louder and harder.
Hasn't David Stern actually done an exceptional job though? Or no, Adam Silver. That's who I'm thinking of.
The NBA's done a great job. I think the NBA's in a very good position.
And I don't like Roger Goodell, but that league makes money. Like,
yeah. The NFL is like almost too good to screw up, though.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like, it just, like, I don't know if I'm just, Fat Guy and I are going to be, I think of most of us, because a lot of us love the NFL. Like, it's, I don't know. I just like that there's not that many games. I like that they play once a week.
I love that too.
I like that you can kind of follow along with everything that's going on. 4-3, said Mickey. Oh my. 40 seconds left. I still don't like our chances. State of the art is an interesting saying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to picture every fan I see as Josh Allen at this point.
Oh, that's him?
I think so. He's having a great time.
Dude, what's the temperature like? Everyone's in a short sleeve.
You gotta have an idea that it's probably super hot when you're around like 70,000 sweaty people yelling.
You've been to a sports game before, Big Rye. Man, Hurts has had to do that like first move on everybody.
This has been quite the performance from the Tampa Bay front seven.
Preds lose. Nice.
Yeah, that was with Seattle up 2 with like a minute 30 left. It would have taken a miracle.
All I need is a miracle.
Hurts with time to throw, and he puts a strike on Devontae Smith.
Nice ball. Nice ball, eh?
Yeah, really, really good. I'm surprised Cockrell even made that much of an adjustment in the zone. Like, I don't know if there's like verbal cues when guys make moves like that, but
well, there should be. But then the other time, Hurts is getting ran down, and no one telling him there's a guy on his ass.
Yeah. Well, people could be telling too. It's who knows how.
Yeah, what
aware
he's
of what he's hearing or.
They're actually making a game of it. Oh, this guy just pulls out his run the ball sign, which of the other signs, which I'm sure say pass the ball in defense.
Barrett finally.
That looked like a false start.
Gets there. Not.
I don't even know if that's a sack.
I don't think it was either, but I said finally, but like he's been in the backfield half this game.
Yeah. I have him in a sack pool. I took him first overall. It's not working out, but it's obviously not for lack of effort.
If Hurts wasn't so mobile, this game would be.
Oh, it'd be over.
It would be a lot of trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Third and 10 here.
Holy smokes, man.
Fourth and 10, and they have to go for this. Like, there's just not enough time left in this game. That's you could argue maybe a late hit. They're kicking a field goal. Oh my goodness.
Well, at least they have a better
Oh
chance of covering
man.
now. This is so garbage, man.
Oh. Oh my goodness. What a disaster. What a disaster. What is that? What is that decision? Holy. Anybody have like a Twitter account, like a fourth down bot Twitter account?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Fourth down decision bot?
Yes. I have like a couple.
Oh, it says recommended toss up.
Wow.
So I was very quick to think that was the wrong decision, but apparently not. I'm guessing a lot of that has to do with the down and like the distance, like it being 10 yards.
Yeah.
But oh my. Yeah, they calculate it out as a 28% chance to complete fourth and 10. Yikes.
But why you shouldn't really even be in 4th and 10. Do you know what I mean? You're in fourth, like that's not really supposed to happen. I don't know.
I did pull up the Ben Baldwin one, Mickey, so thanks for pointing that one out to me. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Oh my. Okay. Sorry, that just completely threw me off. And it's not even like an analytical thing at this point. It's just, I don't know. You're not playing to win the game to me if that's the decision you're making.
Yeah.
It is. I do like though when like how much of it with him calling the plays affects that. Like a head coach, it feels like they should just be managing, everything else that's going on.
Oh. Doesn't it? I am sorry. Like I'm on. My customers have the Bucks. I'm gonna lose some money. It looks like. But isn't there something like relieving when the winning team just runs the ball straight up the gut? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's nice to see, like, but this is like the NFL, like at least with you and I growing up, this is what we witnessed, right? Like teams would get up and teams would just run the ball down the other team's throat and win the game. Like, but I get that the NFL's changed. It's more offensive. The totals are higher.
what? But what does that have? Like, what's the? I don't understand. And this is a lot of analytic people. Oh, you want to score points? No, you don't. You want to win the game. I do you really care if you win 28-21 or sorry, more in their case, 38-31 or 10-7? What difference does it make? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because they do these expected points added EPA. I mean, that's like it's a stat to measure. I can understand, but it shouldn't be the overall goal. The goal is to win football games, right? It just seems like a perversion of analytics, kind of like Corsi in hockey. You know what I mean?
Oh, that sucks for Hargrave or Hargrove.
Because what if he landed on the back of his foot and it fell into the? Oh, I hate that. Just like crunch your foot up. Thank you. Who is it? Who is the Jets coach that said it? I'm misplacing his name.
Rex Ryan.
No. It's before that. Black guy. He was a DB's. Herm Edwards. Yeah. Herm Edwards. Yeah. Boy, and he's right. It's that simple. It really is. Yeah, didn't he get in trouble for like boosters or something?
I just keep thinking of the Danny Green quote. The Bears are who we thought they were. Let them off the hook.
Denny Green. And we let him off the hook.
That was a great one.
It was good. Rest in peace, Denny Green.
Or probably the best coaching tirade for me at least was the "I'm a man, I'm 40."
I don't know if I go with that one.
That one was unreal. They bring the blitz here. They hit OJ Howard off the blitz. And the guy makes a tackle. Oh my.
Dude, what? What?
Now what's Tampa's decision here?
Dude, sorry. Did you see that tackle? What?
Yeah. It looked like he missed the tackle and Howard just went down, but he really got him because his helmet hit the back of his left heel.
Yeah, that is why. Well,
So,
it doesn't matter.
Tampa's leaving their offense on the field at least to
What are they going to take a timeout here? God, like what do you?
it.
What
I
if this
figured they
actually mattered?
Well, I figured they'd at least line up in hard count, try to get them jump, and then if they don't, like you can punt. But no, they're gonna take a timeout instead.
Dude, like why press select here? Like, come on. Win. Oh, now there's $100,000. That would still have to be in ones. Maybe fives. A whole briefcase with $100,000 in it. All right.
So they are lining up to go for this. I'm actually checking this Baldwin thing to see if he has a number up, but not yet.
But why? Like, why'd you have to take a timeout? Like, why isn't this already in the cannon? Do you know what I mean? It's not ready to go. I just don't get it. Because what if this actually mattered? Incomplete.
OJ Howard's been quite the focal point tonight with Gronkowski out.
I go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Sounds good. I'll get to see what this fourth decision means. I guess eventually. I'm not sure how often it gets updated or when it does. Tampa Bay letting Eagles hang around. Yeah, still within the realm of possibility to come back. The live line is 10.5. Eagles to come back and win right now would be plus 1233. Closer to like 20 to 1 though. Maybe like 18 to 1 in real time. Okay, we got an update here. Go for it was the right decision there for Tampa Bay. But it still has them at anywhere from 98 to 97% no matter what happened on that play. Here, I guess I can bring this one over to show. Here's the up 14, 4th and 3, 46 yards from the opponent end zone. Going for it was the best decision, but really not a huge decision either way. I was going to say it looked like Sanders was about to stay in bounds, which wasn't the good decision to make, but they stopped the clock for him. Now they started up, so.
What? Like, what?
So I guess they, it looks like if you go out of bounds like before 5 minutes, really nice run here from Sanders. If they go out, I guess they stop the clock for as long as it takes the refs to get the ball set, and then they start the clock again. That's funny, like something that's so obvious and something we don't get to really notice. Another very, very productive run here from Miles Sanders.
Nice.
Yeah, Mickey, I know you always highlight this, and I've become a proponent to it, that if they score here, it's better to go for 2 and make it a 6-point game than a 7-point game.
Well, that would give some more life to that field goal attempt too. Like us not thinking it was a toss-up.
But the whole point, like, the field goal is just, it's so unnecessary at this time because there's only so many possessions left in a game that, like, you'd literally need it to go perfect the rest of the way for it to even matter.
And they stacked that box.
So the Eagles should be trying to get up to the line and, like, get this play off as quickly as they can to save as much time. They give them the first down. They are hurrying this up, which is nice to see.
Get the refs out of the way and let Sanders run again.
This is going to be a toss to one of these tight ends, if I had to guess. No. That play was designed to go to Ertz, but so slow out of it. They call a flag here. It's going to be a holding on the defense. It's really not going to make too much of a difference.
I like what Aikman said here. Don't overthink this. Exactly. You only have to get half a yard. Come on, guys.
Tampa jumped early as well. I don't know if they called him, though. The left tackle is pissed. Like, that was very, very clear that he jumped off. I don't know what you're supposed to do as a tackle in that situation. Because he's completely right. They're losing time here, too. Losing more and more time. It's just insane. It's insane.
You're gonna get in. Wow.
Will they go for 2 here? The 2 has cover implications.
Does it ever?
Yeah, they're lining up for 2. This is nice to see. This is refreshing because you don't see this very often. They line up 3 receivers at the top. Ertz is all alone at the bottom. And fat guy watching very closely.
That's good. That's good.
All of a
That
sudden,
was
we have a
pretty good.
6-point game.
This game was so listless, and I mean that's football for you.
Yeah, Mickey, that was a really nice pass from Hurts. So Quez Watkins was a 6th round pick in 2020.
Yeah, isn't that funny? You put all those resources in a guy that's like getting it done.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Like, if you can hit on a 6th round pick, that's great. It just sucks that they've used that capital on guys like Rager who just haven't panned out yet.
I just think you're better off like trading down and getting a bunch of 6th and 5th round picks because if you hit on one of them, the salary is awesome.
So they managed to hit Fournette out of bounds.
He might have fallen inbounds at his elbow.
There's a flag on this play. I'm interested to know what it is.
Zooming in on the linebacker.
Taunting.
Yeah. What's the point of that?
It hurts the team right now. If you're an Eagles fan, that's not great. I don't know why they just keep highlighting this. Michigan backhand saying Bucks need a score to cover. Untouchable J crowd is alive again.
Oh man. It's almost better that he went down.
2nd and 9 here for Tampa. This is kind of a make or break spot on the field because it's going to be 3rd and long here. A first down here puts them into field goal range, and it pretty much... I'm guessing this is the first timeout from the Eagles. So that's why they stopped the clock. So 3rd and 7. The Eagles did use their first timeout. This will be a very key play in this game. So the Eagles... Antonio Brown... What a nice adjustment by Antonio Brown, because that route got completely cut down, and he made his way up the field. Yeah, that was actually
in traffic. Wow.
That was actually really, really impressive. I'm surprised Epps didn't make a play on that ball. It's this is still very, very interesting as far as covers go. Like, the win is kind of locked up for Tampa at this point, but as far as covers go, there's still a lot to be decided. Live line at Pinnacle is 8.5. So Slay's out on Fournette, meaning they're in zone. And this is actually going to be like pretty much the perfect spot for cover territory for the Eagles, because essentially a first down ends this game. Yeah, plus 6.5 for Philly is now minus 355. Yeah, a first down inbounds ends this game.
What if they just let him in?
Well, it's, to me, like, this is Brady sneak territory.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it, they just do it again. Like, it wins you the game. Anything else is going to be way more complicated. And look, he's got so much space there. Like, the Eagles just gave it up. That's game. Fat guy is going to get the cover, the backdoor cover. That's it, and that's all. Barring some strange flag, that's game. Just terrible alignment from the Eagles D-line there, because it's just so bad.
I can't believe, like, this covered.
Yeah, it's very, very fortunate. Well, Fat Guy, we're going to lose this one in the contest, but I'm sure you're willing to give a contest loss for for a couple extra shekels.
Yeah, yeah. I can afford an oil change. In today's climate, thank you, analytics, for these weird covers.
Yeah, it's a bizarre one, right? I highlighted that home teams have lost by 6 more than they've lost by 7, and it's weird things like this that do that.
What are they talking about? What are they doing?
What do you mean?
They were like talking like something was going down. I'm like, what's going on? That was such an ugly cover, like Jake Jacobs said. Woo! We'll take it. We will take it.
Have a good night, Jay.
Have a good night, gentlemen. Holy. A weird cover.
Just a weird game. Like, just such a strange game for so many different reasons.
Why would you wear an earring with a helmet? I still don't get it. Like, what if the helmet jostled and it ripped out?
It'd be very, very painful.
It's just like an unnecessary risk, you know? It's like long hair. Like, why do you have long hair in the NFL? So that someone can pull on it? Like, whatever. You got a kink. Just keep it at home.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of weird things happen.
That time Larry Johnson tackled Troy Polamalu by his hair.
That's a game. Now I wish contest had been 7 and you would have taken Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
it, right?
silly.
But that's why lines are important, right? It's it is what it is. It's always more likely to finish at 6 or 7, and that's just what happened today. It finished at 6, and it always feels like when teams need that 2-point conversion when they're coming back, like it feels like they convert it way more than they don't.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, it's just our own fandom, though.
yeah, that's true. Miracle Eagles cover. Yeah, exactly, Saps. Well, that's it for Fat Guy and I. Thank
What a
you guys
weird
for
day.
very bizarre, very strange.
I run so good when I'm streaming this year.
It's
Like,
been great.
I just accepted the L today. I did. You know, but I'm like 5-0 streaming with exposure. So this was for a lot less money, but it was still, you know, I'll take it. Jeez, better than winning or losing rather.
And Mickey says also with the longer extra point, it definitely 6 is going to be more likely to hit than 7.
100%.
Why did Eagles go for 2? It analytically, it's better to go for 2 when you're down 8 because that puts it at 6. Because what'll happen is if you don't get it, you're down 8, and that just means you need a touchdown with another 2-point conversion. And if you do get it, that just means you can kick the extra point
win the game.
and win the game. So it's a weird statistical thing when you're down 8 points after a touchdown near the end of the game. It's very interesting. I didn't believe it at first, and then I looked into it, and it's the right play to make.
You also, like, there's even, depending on the time on the clock, you can kick a field goal too. Like that, it's not ideal, but it is possible, right? If you have like a 4th and long.
That is true. All right, guys, that's it for us. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, become a YouTube member. We've got NHL and NFL betting markets going before each game, and NBA is going to be just around the corner as well. So join us for that. Michigan said I had Tampa covering. That's why I asked that question. Yeah, it's good to know, and just one of the many things when picking spreads where to take and where to accept those lines. All right, guys, have a good night.